guys, welcome to this week's What Women Binge. We have a special guest with us today. We have Annie F. Downs here with us.
I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I
we're
love to
so
binge
excited.
things. This is going to go great.
We are so excited because you're a master podcaster. Is it minister? What would the pastor
I'm
minister?
ordained at Crosspoint Church, so I would be considered a pastor.
A pastor.
I'm on the teaching team.
A well-known author and just an icon in the Christian community.
Oh,
so,
thanks.
I mean, like
motivational guru.
motivational.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
you
so many
guys.
things.
Will y'all do my Hinge profile? I
Fun
feel like that'd be really
personality.
Oh, I would love to do that. Can
excuse
I
me.
just tell you?
Right?
Maker of socks or
maker of
face
socks.
of socks. So
All things fun.
we always wear our socks on the show. And you have
Yes,
fuzzy
thank you
socks.
for letting me borrow these.
You're welcome.
No,
Thank
they're
you for
yours.
these.
You get to
I can
keep
have
them.
them?
That's yes.
Oh, yeah, you
these
get
are
to keep
gift to
them.
you.
Oh, great.
And then
Thank you.
and you
Comfort to follow
gifted
you
me
home.
We traded.
your face on socks.
I know.
And I
It just
absolutely
felt
adore
right.
it.
It just
Yeah.
felt right.
I love
what a thing to give people, because then they can either wear them or not.
Well, and I was like, this is perfect for when she comes on the podcast
That's
someday
right.
because
That's right.
I am going to save these and wear them so that we can talk about your face on
That's
my
right.
feet.
Just this morning, we were passing the book back and forth, and she was like, "I'm going to wear the socks with her face on them." I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
She was jealous.
I am a little jealous, but
You too can make them. What a great Christmas gift to give like the grandparents.
Oh, with
your
your
kids,
grandkids.
yeah, your grandkids
Yeah.
on socks or your dog on socks.
I think my face is on some underwear I gave my husband, but that's a whole different story. I'm not getting that to the grandparents.
no, maybe not, or to your kids.
back up.
There's an underwear brand you can like put your face on.
And
And I think they put you on like a sexy Santa or so. I don't know what it is. I forget, but I gave him to him. He's never worn them. I wish he
Like,
would.
did he open
That's
it in
hilarious.
public, like in front of everyone at Christmas morning?
Well, usually when we open our gifts, the kids are already playing with their toys. And so it's just the
okay.
two of us.
so that's just
So
a little,
nobody really saw
a little
it.
wink, wink.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And I think he opened the box and
appreciate
went, oh, okay. I mean, it wasn't like lingerie. It was just like box.
Silly.
right.
Oh, that's kind of cute. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of fun. It was a fun little gift. I think me and my other friend, she did it for her husband. She's like, you got to do this. And I was
Yeah.
like, I will.
Yeah.
Don't challenge me with a good time. But wait, we want to talk about, okay, we have read a bunch of your books.
That's kind.
And
Thanks.
I am madly in love with Perfectly Unique. First of
Oh,
all.
thanks.
And I have so many questions for you. Can I?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I go to the
Yes.
notes? I have taken notes on you because as I'm like driving around, I listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
So, and I listened to you on a time and a half.
It was. I bet I sound like a dolphin
Like
when I laugh. Like I can imagine.
Well, I'm like, because I talk fast and I love that you talk fast, but
Yes.
when you're on time and a half, you really talk
I
fast.
really do. I really get through some content.
And I mean, I was listening to that. It was about a 4-hour book and I was listening to it in like 2.
Yeah, I bet.
I got through it,
Well
but I
done.
loved. I love hearing books in people's voices when they write them anyway. You
Yeah.
know,
I
when
so
it's
wish I had
nonfiction.
downloaded the content, like the printable content.
Oh, I know. You
beforehand,
have so many
though,
recipes.
because I didn't like. I listened to it and I was like, oh, like I want to go back and read that and like what is the thing at the beginning with the mind.
Oh, yeah, MIND.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I was trying to remember it. I'm like, I'm driving. Where am I going?
Oh my gosh, I'll get you one. Don't worry. You come to the right person. I have access to get you a copy of that book.
But I love that every once in a while you're like, and by the way, go check out my meatball recipe. Or you know, you throw in these like, I love that. I love that
And
it's like interactive.
that's the first one I ever wrote. I wrote that one, and so the way it started is I was leading a high school small group. And they asked me I took the seniors to a Christian bookstore. I said, pick out what you want us to read. And we looked through all the books and they're like, could you just tell us stories?
Oh.
And so that's what Perfectly Unique
You know,
is.
I was wondering, that was one of my questions because it does seem, because you do talk a lot about like the next generation or them being
Yeah.
like, basically it sounds like you're talking to someone who's still coming up of age.
Yes.
And I was wondering who it was kind
Yes.
of meant to be.
Yeah. So originally, I mean, it is like y'all. I mean, there are so many of us that are in our 30s, 40s that are going, I wish someone would have said this to me when I was 16.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's why I wrote it, because
The whole
I needed
time
someone.
I was thinking that. I was like, man, I wish I had
know.
read this before 30 because
Yes.
this whole month, it seems like I've had this conversation with other women around the same age was like your 30s are rediscovering who you would have been if middle school and high school had not changed you.
Wow.
Like your authentic self is really who you are at 13.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
that is so true for me, for sure.
Me too.
And my friends have like watched this
Yeah.
happening in me and like just re-embracing the glitter and, you know, the weird style and being loud and obnoxious because that's just who God made me.
Yeah.
And it is so nice.
You're not obnoxious, first of all.
Okay, sometimes I am. But in general, just
You might be loud, but
I
you're not
don't
obnoxious.
cover up who I am anymore. And this has only started in my 30s. I spent so much of my life trying to conform to what the world was telling me I needed to be.
This is what, whenever people have birthdays and they're freaking out about turning 30 or in their 30s, like I always say, if I could live, I mean, I'm only 47, but you know, I'm like, oh, if I could live at any age, I'd be 36. And I think there's something to that, like to being in your 30s and knowing who you are and embracing that and being like kind of unapologetic about it. And, but also like knowing your boundaries, feeling like an adult, feeling like you're being taken seriously, feeling like your body's working the way you want it to work, you know, like, because as soon as I hit 40, I was like, I need glasses, you know, and little things like that. My knees are aching now. And, you know, all these things that kind of started to happen in my 40s, but my 30s, I was feeling great. You know, I could still, my metabolism was still kicking a little bit. Like, I feel like I could still a little bit. I mean, I feel like I've always fought with that, but like, at least now looking back, you know, I can always say, I want to take a picture. Like, I try not to back out of pictures. I see a lot of moms and stuff like backing out of pictures. Because they're like, oh, I don't want a picture looking like this or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but in 10 years, you wish you looked like this again, you know? So I'm always trying to like, be like, embrace this now.
Live in the moment.
I mean, my friend I just ate lunch with, what we talked about the most, I'm 43, she's 28 or 29. And we talked about how culture tells women to be small. Take up less space on a plane. The smaller you are, the more attractive you are to men. The smaller your voice is. If you're loud, you're obnoxious. Those don't go together, right? And so what we talked about...
I'm the opposite of both of those things.
Right. So, I mean, what we talked about is we are just committing to each other. We're not going to play small. We're not going to try to shrink who we are to fit in this thing when we were made this way. Right? Like
perfectly.
And right. And so it's this really interesting conversation to have with grown women.
Yes.
To say, I know at some point someone told you to shrink or someone told you to be less. And we're not telling you every personality ain't going to look like our personality, but can you say, okay, so what is the fullness of who I am?
Wait, was it
can I be there?
Was it in your book Chase the Fun that you talk about a 5-year-old that mentioned, was that, I know I heard this in the last few days, a 5-year-old mentions that she's feeling fat, but she used to look skinny.
Right. She was looking in the mirror.
What?
Yes, I was babysitting and she was looking in the mirror.
It was you I'm like, someone on the radio said it, but
it was
you.
me. Yes. And I stood behind her and I was like, what is she talking about? I mean, I just thought, a 5-year-old. She was
that's
5 at the
heartbreaking.
time. Right. And so the thing we get to do with books like Perfectly Unique, even now as we read them, is go, okay, if I could parent myself, what would I say? If I'm parenting myself right now, how can I help that part of me that has some sort of governor on it, some sort of pain to heal, you know? And that's what we still get to do. And then we're better for the next generation.
I feel like you spoke straight to like 16-year-old Amanda, the things that I definitely needed to hear.
I was thinking like 23-year-old Melissa.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I just think about like all those things I went through. And like when you talked about your homecoming queen experience, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like all of those moments in my life that I really should have been celebrating and soaking up and feeling good about myself, which God totally intended.
Right.
I was like, I don't deserve this. It's that weird imposter syndrome.
Yeah. It's been hard for my parents, as you can imagine, as parents. It's been hard for my parents, particularly my first couple of books when I was writing a lot for younger women, to talk about my experience as a teenager when I was in their house.
Oh, that they didn't know about
Right.
or that they weren't aware of.
Because I tell the story in Perfectly Unique about how I duct taped myself one time because I didn't know about
Oh my
Spanx.
gosh, that was a difficult.
And so I duct taped myself thinking that would help. And,
Can't imagine
when
how.
I sobbed my way through the night I won homecoming queen because I thought everybody voted for me because they felt sorry for me. It was
like a pity
hard
vote.
for my parents.
Yeah, and it was, I mean,
to hear some of those stories. And so but it's also been healing to go like, yes, but there wasn't something you could do.
Yeah.
This was, I didn't know how to
That was your
communicate
inner
either.
struggle.
Yeah. And it has made me who I am.
Yes.
And
I know,
therefore-
now you're making me think like, would I want my, like, I would want to know what my kids' struggles are, but after the fact, when you can't help them anymore, it's kind of like, you know, I know my son's going through some stuff in high school and it was around prom and all these, he had issues and, you know, and I'm like, I want to know. I really want to know what's going on in his brain. But in like 10, 20 years, will I want to know still?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tricky.
And my nephew's 3, and he just went to school last week. And I said to my sister, what are you doing?
Crying in her closet,
send him to
wondering
school.
what is...
He won't be with us. He's been with us this whole time. And so she was late the first day picking him up. And he was the last kid. And I was like, don't do that tomorrow. And so she told the teacher the next day that I'm a helicopter aunt because I told her she had to be there early.
That's right.
But I was laughing with Sissy Goff, who writes about being a worry-free parent.
Love her. I don't know her in person.
No, but
y'all
both
should have a fan of her work.
Unbelievable. But I was saying to her, I am the problem parent because I'm the one who doesn't want my kid to suffer.
So I have some books you can read.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm right there with you. And I've got 3 kids. So
How to Raise an Adult. Yes. There's a few of them.
Because they have to suffer. Like your son has to go through hard stuff in high school.
You have to remember like what you would probably say like in, from something from the Bible, like the mustard seed or something. But you have to remember that like a tree is only as deep as its roots and its roots only go down as far as it's been blown around.
That's right.
Like it's the wind that takes the tree. I always say that. Like that's my favorite thing to think about is like in Sweden, they teach their kids a different way. They are a little bit more, they teach them about like stoicism and stuff more so to kind of raise them up to be a little tougher and not like coddle them. And we have a hard time with that in this day and age because if we want them to have what we didn't have and we want them to have a better childhood than we had, or we want to impart our wisdom, the things we did learn or we think did go well in our childhood, and we don't let them have their own.
Yes.
So it's
difficult.
I
don't want them to hurt. Yeah.
So we don't let them drink the hose water.
That's right. I'm thankful for the ways that I get to like reparent through books like Perfectly Unique, and then my other one for teens is called Speak Love. Those kind of like helping them in ways that I needed help, but also thank God for the journey I have had.
Yeah. But I didn't, I didn't even think, Perfectly Unique, I was aware of you referencing like younger people, but I didn't. I think everybody should read that no matter what age, especially women. But I love from the you went from the mind down, right? You went from like the mind to the eyes to the mouth, the ears, and then down the shoulders and how they bear the brunt of things. And they stand tall and like the knees and how important that is. And like I always think about that. Growing up Catholic, we kneel in our church. Like, they have the kneeling, I don't even know what they're called, little kneeling pads. Yeah. You fold them down and you get on your knees.
Yes.
And like 2 or 3 times in the service, you kneel. There's places where the whole congregation kneels. And I miss that about being Catholic. I miss getting on my knees. And actually during Lent, I couldn't think of anything to give up. So instead I started to pray in the morning. I decided to add prayer in the morning. Wow. I realized I wasn't praying in the morning before I get up. And at first the idea was I'm going to get on my knees and pray every morning. And I did it a few mornings, but I kind of then just laid in bed and read.
Yeah, there you go.
Prayed, but I'm like, I want to get on my knees and pray again. Like when I was a baby, not a baby, but when I was a little girl, I'd get on my knees and pray at night before I got in bed. Just like all the pictures of the little girl in her hands.
Yeah. I went to a Christmas Eve service at a Catholic church because our church didn't have a Christmas Eve service and I wanted to go. And so I went at midnight by myself. I texted one friend. I was like, just so you know, track me.
This is where I am.
This is where I am. I know this is weird. But the sound of the kneelers going down and coming back up.
Just like squeaky little hinges or
and
the
like
clunk.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. There is something about your posture that matters.
Yeah.
And I thought it was
and
really
your
beautiful.
feet and how they carry you.
Yeah.
I really love that you write. You take the Bible and you write out verses about you. Mm-hmm. So like you wrote like Annie is God's child.
Yeah.
Or because I am, or from John 15:15 because I am a disciple, I am a friend of Jesus.
Yeah.
And I love that you said. Okay, here's some things I love that you said. Stick with the truth, and then the lies will be easy to recognize.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot about that recently.
Yeah.
I love that you said take care of yourself. Oh, I realized I wanted to point out we're both talented sleepers apparently.
Yes.
I consider that a talent.
Yes.
I really consider that a talent. Like
when
sleeping
people tell
well
me they don't sleep well, I'm always like, I can't imagine.
I know. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I know. Me
you don't
too.
sleep on an airplane? I'm sorry. How do you not?
You don't sleep if a car slows down and you can sit there. Yeah.
But what's funny is like whenever I was taught on set on my first show, we would go into giggle fits and have all these things happen where we would have to calm down or we'd get angry or whatever and we'd have to calm down. And one woman there was like a yogi and she was teaching, the woman who played my mom on Clarissa, and she was kind of always teaching me to sort of meditate, calm myself, that kind of thing. And she would teach me that I was full of smoke, that I was like full of black smoke. And if I inhaled and exhaled, I could exhale out the black smoke. But I would start with like, kind of like what you did with the book. I would start with the brain and go down. I would like breathe from my nose. I'd breathe from my chin. I'd breathe from my shoulders. I'd go down the arm to the elbow, then the wrist, then the finger, And what's funny is we would always say, I could never get past my knees. The knees is as far as I could clear my body. I could never I kept telling him like, I can't reach my ankles. Like I can't get my ankles to clear. And so then it became a thing on set that anyone having a giggle fit or whatever, we'd be like, breathe from the knees, breathe from your knees. Like, I don't know why, but that became
Why do you think that is? Have you ever thought about why you couldn't
No, I only thought about it again with your book. I was like, breathe from your knees. I didn't even, like, it had gone away from me.
Yeah.
But I do it still at night. To be honest, like at night when I can't sleep, I will breathe through my body. Well, like kind of while I'm praying, I'll also be like breathing through things and clearing things.
Yeah.
And but I've never thought about why I never got past my knees.
That's really interesting.
Maybe if I was laying down, maybe because I was always sitting up on set.
Have y'all ever heard the app Lectio 365?
No.
It's a devotional app, and they read you a devotional. So there's one every morning, and it'll read you Bible verses and a prayer and that. And then at night, they have like a 10-minute go to sleep one.
Ooh.
Really?
Oh.
It's kind of like Patricia Heaton. She used to always go to sleep listening to Tim Keller.
Yeah. It's very like that. And because it's only 10 minutes, it doesn't like keep me up or go on for a long time.
Yeah.
But
What's it called, Lectio?
Lectio
writing it
365.
365. Oh, 365.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how, because I breathe through
I-O
it.
or E-O?
I-O. Lectio 365.
So I also want to get into Enneagrams, but before we get there, I want to know how you love folding sheets, you announced?
Oh my gosh, I'm just very good
You're
at
insane.
it.
Why didn't we bring the fitted sheet?
I know. I can talk you through it though real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
The trick with folding fitted sheets
Oh my God, I can't
is you
wait.
just put the corners together.
Okay, but then you end up
how?
with the 3 corners instead of 4.
Like last week, I
right.
ended up with one inside the other, and then the other side was not like that.
So think of a bed, the top 2 corners, the bottom 2 corners.
Yeah.
Take the bottom 2, tuck them up into the top 2. So now if your hands are in the corners, you kind of have a rectangle.
sorry.
You kind of have a rectangle.
Okay.
And then you put them all together in one, and you're right, you kind of have a triangle now.
But your hand's like in them.
Yeah, your hand is, and all 4 corners are hanging over your hand. And then if you just lay that down on your bed and fold down, then you've got a rectangle. All you do is fold down that corner, those 4 corners, and you've got a rectangle to work with, and then you just...
No way.
This sounds good.
I'm gonna go home and practice.
I'm gonna have to
doable.
practice.
I love
I think
it.
I've watched Martha Stewart do it a few times, but
Yeah.
I still can't fold a t-shirt.
I have watched videos.
I want one of those things.
I have
that
socks
folds
from the
t-shirts.
folding lady too. Actually, the folding lady sent some socks, and I'm like, I watched the folding lady, and I have done some really great things with napkins at Easter time, but I cannot do a sheet or a t-shirt.
Also, remember that I'm not married yet, don't have kids, so my time to do laundry is much less significant than y'all's is.
No, but I will take my time with be like,
know.
I am going to do it right this time.
Okay.
Whether it's a sheet or a t-shirt, I swear, I'm like,
Yep.
I can
In my
fold my
heart-
jeans really well.
I am a domestic goddess.
But in your calendar.
In real life, not so much. The doom
Right.
piles are real.
Right. Doom piles. That's so good.
Yeah, she loves her doom piles.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Did
Yeah.
Betty White call him that too? And what did she call him?
I think so.
Something like, she had some name. for
Everybody
him.
has
It might
them,
not have been doom, but it was something like,
They just appear.
they're just there. I remember Betty White saying in her book that before she passes away, she's got to clean off the dining room table because she can't leave that for anybody. I hope she did it. God bless her. But you also said something that I'd never thought of before. You said I can't do anything to make God love or hate me, but that I can't do anything to make God hate me really struck me like I had never considered that before. Like, growing up, like hearing about sin and, being God-fearing and all these things, I always considered that if I did bad things, God would hate me. And so you said that and I went, oh my gosh.
Or that he will never pick anyone over you. Like that one where I was like, because even in adulthood, it's not even like a conscious thought, but it's like I'm definitely not the most qualified. Or like, it's just so interesting to think that like, no, God like picked you for a purpose. And if that's your purpose, you're going to be there. Yeah. It's not that someone else is better at it. And
I know, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's such a kind reminder that, it's that, I'm not going to remember where the scripture is, but it's that he doesn't want anyone to perish.
Yeah.
Like he never, I don't know that he ever stops loving us.
Yeah.
No matter what choices we make, even after life here on earth, right? I don't know that he ever stops loving us. I don't know how that works. But then it is just this good reminder of like, my mistake isn't going to cost me that relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all have this too in your life, and I have people in my life who have thrown away everything.
Right.
Who have just absolutely trashed their life.
Yes.
Trashed their families, trashed their job. And you go, man, you have lost so many relationships, but I know one you haven't lost. And therefore, I probably need to be more full of grace with you because you didn't lose God.
Yeah.
He didn't abandon you, but I'm ready to.
Yeah.
And there are times where that's right and healthy and being out of unhealthy relationships. But it's such a good reminder that if I ever trash my life.
Yeah.
Or trash my day and just make a mistake that I can't recover from in my own mind, I go, you know what? The Lord is good with us.
Yeah.
And time heals. And when time isn't a very reliable healer without God, but with God, time is a healer.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I'm with you. That is such a good reminder that we can't.
Yeah, it's just
There's
something,
nowhere you can go.
it's something I've never heard said before, I guess, not in that way, and where it spoke to me like that, and where it just was, it just was like, I was like, oh, I gotta write that down. Like I'm driving around, I'm like, I hope I pulled over and wrote it down, but I might not.
Stoplight.
I might have been at a stoplight or on the highway. I don't know, but voice noting into my phone.
I have literal voice notes of like, write down this verse, make the card.
Yeah, the card.
I was talking to myself. I was like, man, I really should have just read this one.
And then you gave me Chase the Fun.
Yeah.
Which is such a fun book. I love that it's built into days.
Yeah.
So it's like calendar and how you talk about like building in your fun and being, there's a bunch of days in a row that's the Be the Amateur.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what ended up happening, particularly after 2020, my podcast is called That Sounds Fun, right? And so people assume we talk about fun all the time, which is great because I love talking about fun. But the thing that kind of happened during the pandemic is people really had to sort out if fun isn't going to Disney World and flying to Paris and being with a crowd of 300 people, what is it?
Yeah.
And where is it? And how do we find it? And so learning how to find it within the lives we already have.
Well, I feel like
became
COVID
really
helped
important.
with that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
With like
We
making
had to
sourdough
relearn.
bread or
Yes.
people making their own candles. Or
Yes.
I did a lot of gardening,
Yes. And so then people reestablish like, oh, wait, fun can be daily.
Yeah.
Fun can be like a part of my life. And so then when it came time to so I wrote a book called That Sounds Fun that kind of said, here's what it looks like to be an amateur and why it matters.
I like that. I like the
and
amateur
why do you
angle.
let yourself fall in love with it? I mean, this is perfect. What women binge, why? The first thing I said to y'all when I got here was I'm embarrassed about things I binge. Yeah. But also if I actually believe what I write, then we should love what we love.
Well, wait.
Love
But you also in the book say, and I wrote this down, I actually put it on Threads because I want Threads to be a place where I just put my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
And so you gave me a few of them. And one of them was Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
What was it? You can't look stupid if you're having fun.
Yes.
Right? Is
that's
that
right.
it?
Yes, that's
and that's
exactly
just
right.
so brilliant because it's true.
That's right.
If you are dancing like a fool on a dance floor, everyone's going to be like, look at them. Like,
but
look at her.
They're going to get out on the dance floor.
But like you're inspiring some people or some people. And even if people are kind of like, you can't help but like inspire like a laugh or a giggle or something,
It's that scene. Have y'all seen Wicked, the musical?
Oh, yeah. She is not.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking her when it comes this year.
I'm ashamed.
Or come up to New York. I'm going to be in New York for a couple of months in the fall. And my friend Mary Kate is Elphaba, and she's unbelievable. So y'all need to come up to New York and see it. But also the touring cast is amazing. But there's a part where Elphaba, who's the Green Witch, before she's a witch, when she's a student, she starts dancing. Do you remember she starts dancing? And everyone originally laughs at her at the ball, the shiz ball. Everybody originally laughs at her, and then they all start doing the same dance.
Oh.
And you go like, oh yeah, if I just show up me, that doesn't mean everybody has to be like me, but it gives them permission to show up as who they are. Right? And that's the invitation.
I've just unapologetic has been like in my head a lot recently.
Yeah.
Hey, Amanda, do you like my eyewear?
I always love your eyewear.
I know, me too. It's pear.
You're looking sparkly.
Am I looking
ready for the day?
I know they're like little like cat eye-ish, right?
They're adorable.
I love them. These are my pear, but you know what? The fall season is a season of change, but life is more fun when you can choose to switch things up, right?
It's spooky season.
It's spooky season.
And guess what?
Pear eyewear
Pear
has the best choices for your spooky season.
They not only allow you to personalize your wardrobe every day of the year, but this time of year, they have a Halloween collection.
Oh my gosh, so if you're celebrating sweater weather or spooky season or both, their new designs bring a little autumn joy to your everyday look.
It's so cool. Pear has a frame to fit every face, even with 5 new wider base frames, which we talked about before, which is awesome for the men in your life.
Oh, yeah.
And they're easy to find your perfect pair. You can do the virtual try-on right on their website. It's awesome, so you can select the right frame shape for your face without any question on whether or not it's going to look good on you.
Also, the frames are built durable and versatile, so they're the only glasses you'll ever need.
It's so fun. You're not feeling your style that day. You just
pop on a new frame.
It's so good.
And you can get free standard shipping on all orders and a flexible 30-day return policy.
So cool. And you can save on traditional glasses markups with base frames that start at just $60 and top frames for $25.
Yes.
So cool.
Change things up this season with new frames from Pair Eyewear. Go to paireyewear.com/binge for 15% off your first pair.
That's Pair, P-A-I-R, eyewear.com/binge, B-I-N-G-E.
And thanks, Pair, for sponsoring What Women Binge. But yeah, I've really enjoyed your writing.
Thanks, friend.
And I've enjoyed your sermons on Crosspoint because I watch them and love them. And I also know that you're a huge Enneagram,
I do like
you're kind
it.
of the connoisseur of, is that the right word?
That's a good word. There's much wiser coaches. I'm just a big
I had
fan.
to look up what mine was. I did it so long ago. A friend of mine made me do it. It's a long test, right?
I know. Yeah, there's long ones you can take.
So for anyone that doesn't know what an Enneagram is, will you explain that?
Yeah, so it's just a personality tool, kind of like Myers-Briggs or any of those that you can take that'll give you some direction. It is not like the gospel, right?
Yeah.
It is just one tool that kind of says, here's some reasons why you do what you do, and here are some strategies around how to be the healthiest version of yourself. And so it's something my counselor and I will talk about. I'll be like, I know this is in my personality. This is my Myers-Briggs. This is my my Enneagram. This is my DISC assessment. Any of those. So okay, so what are you?
I found mine. Hold on. I'm you. I'm a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
I believe that. An enthusiast. Have you ever taken it?
I'm a 2-wing 3.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So I think I'm a 7. Does this mean here? I found my results. I went and dug them up the other day.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a 7
you and I are
8.
the exact same thing.
Really?
A 7 with an 8 wing. So the 7 is the enthusiast, who's kind of the one who goes, our motivation is, I don't want to be in pain. So what can I do to not be in pain? And in our most unhealthy moments, we will run away. We will binge. We will escape into things. We're escapists.
Okay.
On our best days, we lead people out of their pain.
Oh, okay.
Right? And because we're like, I'm not staying in this, but I don't want you to stay in it either. So come with me.
Yeah.
Is this why you stay on me about the emails?
Yeah, because you
think
need
it's
to
bringing me
straighten
pain?
out your emails.
She's like, I sense you in pain.
Yes.
I'm feeling this.
That's true.
Why
I
do you not
I'm like-
answer your emails?
Oh, no, I answer all my emails.
She just has a
doesn't
lot,
like
and
my
it makes me
inbox.
crazy.
Tell me more, because I want to know if it's related to your two-ness. Why are there? Why are you have emails
It's
in your
not.
inbox?
There's not a why so much as it's just why.
She has a
why not? So okay, we're currently at 28,640.
Ma'am, that is
That's a lot.
okay. So you just
That's
don't
only
like
a
that
quarter
she
of
has
what
it
she
on.
used to have.
And so, but see, I read them.
Yeah.
I just read the ones that are important.
Yeah. So and you
Everything
just leave
else
the
just
others. 'Cause
stay.
Yeah. You just don't have time, energy, desire to
No.
live it different. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
you don't
a
have
creative and not an organizer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
but
also
you do. But
twos
you,
are helpers. And so all your energy is going to helping people, which means very often your energy is not helping yourself. And therefore your inbox is not helping
I don't know what you're
you.
talking about, Annie.
I'm just telling you what a 2 does.
So wait,
I'm
what's
not
the,
sure it's you,
what's
Amanda.
the 8? The 8 is
A challenger.
Challenger.
So what you and I do, so the reason a lot of times, so it's right, it's a circle. So 7s are right next to 8s. And for me, the way it plays out is I love having fun, but when it is time to get work done, I will bulldoze if I'm not careful. Okay. And I have a lot of dreams and ideas, and I will.
Me.
And I'm not afraid of confrontation. I don't love it, but I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, but it also makes.
I always chalk that up to being a New Yorker, but do you think it's more of a number 8?
Yeah, chase it. I mean, nurture and nature. It's probably both.
Yeah.
There's a lot to all the reasons we are the way we are that are from how God made us and how we grew up and how we survived. One of the things, one of my favorite counselors in the world is named Jim Kress. And he said to me when we were doing counseling, he said, those tools you have to survive are so important, but you don't need them anymore.
Oh.
And so a lot of times the tools we grew up with that made us who we are not necessary anymore. They're survival.
I kind of went through a transformation like that, like with, my marriage, like probably about 10, 15 years into my marriage, like looking at my relationships outside of my family, his family, friends, and the choices I was making with people in my life. And like, I tend to be, I like to surround myself with people that don't compliment me, that more I always felt like were honest with me and whatnot. But then there came a point in like my late 30s, early 40s when I was like, maybe I just need people to be nice to me for a minute. Like instead of everybody being honest with me and telling me and like, I got to a point where I was like, can someone just flatter me for 5 seconds? Like,
yeah. Do you think it's because of your public life as a young person?
Yeah, I think I wasn't trusting of like there's a lot of blowing smoke in our industry and stuff like that. So I feel like maybe and I would hear all the time on set, oh, that was great. Oh, that was great. Oh, you look pretty in that dress. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And I tuned it out, and one of my producers noticed it, and he would always say to me, "I'm not giving you a compliment right now."
Wow.
And I go, "Oh, thank you,
thank you so much."
And I would hear that, but I wouldn't hear it the other way. And
so, have y'all talked about love languages before? About the 5 love languages?
Not really, not much
in
here.
Depth, yeah.
Because I have mine of that too. Hold on, let me pull up the picture.
Because I am really interested. Because I wonder if I have this as well because of the jobs that the three of us do. Words of affirmation are so kind. They don't mean a lot for me from my up close people because the public gives that to me so kindly. Yeah. And so that's my bucket is full of that. So what they can't do, what the public can't do is change the oil in my car.
Yeah.
And what
the public service is yours.
Right. So things that have people up close to me helping me go farther because my bucket is full of.
So my husband he disagrees with mine only because he did mine for himself.
Oh, got it.
So I don't know if that counts.
So is words your very bottom?
No, words is my very bottom.
Yeah, I believe it.
He put it as my first or second when he did mine.
See, I wonder if that's true though from him.
Well, he hears me constantly say, "You never tell me I look pretty. You never," and he's like, "No, you just don't hear it when I say it."
Wow.
But he doesn't say it very often. Which is
you're
fine.
looking for it
I don't
from
really
him.
Sometimes,
And not from
because the only person I want to impress is him.
That's right.
I really don't care.
That's right.
I can't find it right now. But
that's the difference. That's why it feels high to him and low to you.
Yeah.
It's because
he thinks I'm begging
feels
for it.
that. Oh, I'm not saying that, but he feels that.
Oh, here it is.
That need.
So I'm quality time.
Yeah. And that's a thing that you can't get from people who love the TV show.
Yeah,
John.
yeah.
And so your nurture of your life has gone, words are so kind, and we are so thankful when people reach out and tell us that they love the work we do. But what actually feels like love is when you come close and still love me.
It's interesting though, because my husband's is acts of service. And I only realized that when years of him making pancakes for the kids and then leaving me one on the kitchen counter, I was like, that's gross. I hate pancakes. Why is he making me pancakes? Like, he obviously doesn't know me at all. And it wasn't until maybe someone else pointed it out, but eventually I learned that that's his love language. He's leaving me a pancake even though he knows I won't eat it because he's telling me, I love you. Here it is. I'm not going to leave you out. Wow. And I'm looking at it as like, gross. He doesn't even know me at all. Like I would just like some poached eggs and an avocado, but thanks.
Right.
And he, so then when I learned that, I was like, oh, I am going to accept this so every time I see a pancake now, I go, he loves me, but I never bothered to do the reciprocal. You know what I mean? Like I never have shown him, I've never made him a pancake. Actually, now
what would happen?
He just opened a business, and I've been bringing him breakfast when I make the kid. Now I have to. It's been kind of great because it's forced me to cook for the first time in my life. So I'm responsible for 3 kids' breakfasts and lunches and dinners, and I will whip up some breakfast burritos, and I'll wrap one up and bring it to him at work, or even grab my yogurt. So now I'm bringing him food,
which is the cutest thing ever. As her friends, we're all like, oh, she has a burrito in her purse.
I made a burrito. So cute. I made a breakfast burrito, you guys. Yes, don't mind the fact that it only has bacon and eggs and nothing else on it. But
it's still in a tortilla, therefore
that's
burrito.
the way I like it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Have y'all talked about love languages, you and Logan?
Honestly, no, we haven't.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know what
you should do it. It's fun.
So interesting.
I actually did it here at the Optimist. There's this great restaurant, the Optimist. I had a bunch of friends in town last year for my birthday. I had 10 friends in town, and we all sat around a table and did it together. But we did it for each other. So mine is more based on friendship than it is romance. We were intentionally trying to hyper focus on friendship.
Yes.
And so that's why also Mark is like, that's not true. But,
right.
But I think it is.
So
you just kind of have to turn off the kind of intimacy questions and kind of focus more on the other questions. But
and also, if you're an Enneagram 7 who leans pretty hard on your 8 wing, we don't care what people say about us. We're going.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me what I'm called to do. I know what I'm called to do, so I'm going to go.
I went last year when I really wanted to bring an exchange student home to our house, and Mark was really against it. But guess what we did? We got an exchange student.
We were all really nervous for her about
visit him at New Year.
Yeah, it was great. It ended up being amazing.
Yeah.
It ended up being a huge blessing. It was actually one of those moments. I don't have a lot of moments I do, but in my life, I don't have a tunnel vision thing where God, where the Spirit spoke to me, where I felt like I was so moved to do something that I was aware of. Yeah. I'm sure if I go back through my life, I can go, oh, there, and there. But this was one where I was like, I'm I need to have, someone has to come into our home. Someone needs to be here. And Mark was like, no. Everybody was like, you don't need this right now in your life. What are you doing? What are you doing? Back away. And I was just tunnel vision for having, they had teenage boys from Guatemala coming to town that needed a home. And I was like, I have a house full of boys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't want a teenage boy in their house. And we're not them. So if a teenage boy needs a home, he's coming here. And it was like this spirit thing of like, we have to have this boy in our home. And it became the biggest blessing. He became a part of our family. He and I talk every day. I mean, he became really close with my boys, with Mark. Like, I haven't cried that hard over someone leaving in a long time. And it was just one of those moments of like, so that just, I mean, but there I was challenging my husband, like, no, we're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not a great way to go into a marriage. But
well, y'all also have a bunch of miles behind you. So y'all knew what you were doing. It wasn't like your first year married.
That's true.
And so my thoughts, with your email and your Enneagram 2 with your wing on a 3. Well,
I love it.
The interesting part of this is one of the reasons this works as well as it does is that y'all's personalities show up like that, where you show up and you go, we can do this. And I care how this goes because my wing 3 is pretty strong. So I care how this is perceived and I care how this looks. And I want to make sure this is beautiful. And she goes, and I know where we're going. And you say, and I'll decorate it and we'll go there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, actually.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
That's pretty much the story.
Yeah.
It's why this works as beautifully as it does.
We
is
walked
y'all
in here.
do
I was
that.
like, hey, I really want to do a podcast. I have an idea. Do you want to be a part of it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, you want to be on it? She's like, yeah. She's like, I'll decorate it. I'm like, perfect. 2 weeks later, we had a podcast.
yes, that does not surprise me at all.
That's what we
for
did.
the
We do
straight
work
shell
well
brain.
together. It's true.
Yeah.
We're a good team.
Our own little,
I love you.
you need to do. I love you too. You need
so
to do your
great.
love languages though, because I want to know what your love language is.
I wonder, hey, Brain, do you know what your love language is?
I think it's gifts.
His best friend is our audio guy, and he's like, there's no way.
But he won't do it? You
He
don't
won't
think
know.
Logan will do it? He won't know.
I wonder if we got disconnected because he's not talking to
the
me.
5 love languages are, no, he's still there. The 5 love languages are what? Gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch.
Physical touch, yeah. I think it might be gifts. You gave me 2 gifts today already. She literally brought me 2 gifts today.
Oh my God.
I got my very first Stanley Cup, which I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
I know I've never had not the hockey.
Yes.
Not the big trophy.
Poor original Stanley Cup. No one thinks of that anymore. We're all thinking of the things you buy at Target.
I know.
Yeah, they're
I got
amazing.
my first big giant purple that says Melissa, so no one can steal it. Stanley Cup.
I didn't know you
And
could
she bought me a-
personalize them. And I went to get her one because she made this adorable meme the other day, and it was like how I found my friends when I was a kid versus how I find them now.
It's all the bicycles in the yard
It was
versus
so
all the
funny.
Stanley Cups.
And the picture is literally of all of our friends' Stanley Cups on the table at this
At a
camping
campsite.
trip we did.
Yeah, at a campsite. There were Stanley Cups everywhere, and I took a picture. I was like, this is hilarious. I knew my friends were in this building because of this Stanley Cup.
And so we realized she was the only one of us who does not have one.
Got it.
And so it needed to happen.
Got her one with her name on it.
You could put your name. I'm like,
It's
I
like the
have
boss.
4.
Yeah.
I don't need another one. But do I need one with my name on it?
Probably
It
probably
needs to happen.
What's the second gift?
A Shirley Temple
Shirley
doll.
Temple porcelain doll from 1987. She knows I collect Shirley Temple dolls.
I found it at a
gosh.
estate sale the other day.
Yeah.
And she was so pretty.
Yeah, she was. She is.
Wow.
She still is.
That's really very kind. Both of those things are so thoughtful.
Really? Right? I mean, really? Right?
Yeah. Yes, but you're right.
Better, Amanda. Yeah.
That's not what I meant. No.
I was with you. I knew what you
I'm like, right?
So thoughtful.
No, it was like and they're very personal to me.
Yeah.
Like, she knew there was like something I was lacking, and she knew there was something that I loved. And
Yeah.
like, she gave me both today.
I love
So I
that.
think
Do
gifts
you like
is
receiving gifts too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, it's not, like, I wouldn't say it's like the top thing, but it does make me feel known.
Well, what do you think your love language is then
I
between
don't
those?
know. I think I want it to be words of affirmation, but I don't know if it actually is.
But you also, you do. Everybody likes quality time too. I mean, that's the thing is all 5
they're
of
all
them is
true.
hard.
Quality time can't be at the top for me because I'm very ADHD and I'm an out of sight, out of mind friend and
No, you're
family
not.
member. I am,
You
though.
text a lot. You may not email back right away.
y'all text a lot.
You're like, I'm just in the
And
group.
I lurk.
You send a lot of DMs of animals.
Oh, I do. That is
Just of animals?
She loves strange animals.
love.
Like a lot of
That's
capybaras.
what Instagram is for.
Please tell me how you feel about the Tennessee Zoo just having its first giraffe with
Without
no
spots.
Oh, that's in Tennessee?
Yes.
I didn't know that was in Tennessee.
Oh, yes. I just read about this yesterday. In fact, it may not be that it doesn't have spots. It may just be one big spot.
Oh, that's even cooler.
What?
They think it's one big. So as it grows, will the spots?
We won't know.
Do
What
they
a
not
dream.
grow spots as they could? Oh, sorry, I don't know.
know,
a lot
I don't
about
know either.
giraffes.
The first giraffe in history, potentially, to be born with no
He's all brown.
markings. He's
I saw
one
that, but I was
solid
like,
color.
is this just what how like babies change? Like, they're like gray and then they turn into whatever.
Well,
like,
it sparked this whole debate on whether like giraffes' spots are like birthmarks or if they are like intentional. Like, there's so many things. They're like, well, we always assumed it was just the way their skin develops because of the melanin and the camouflage and all these things, but maybe it is just kind of like.
they're gonna
Can
look
you
into that
imagine being
DNA.
there for the birth and you're like the zookeeper and you're like cleaning them off? You're like, wait, hold on.
what?
Wait.
What?
There's not a spot here. It is one big brown spot.
This is a brown giraffe.
Have you said
wild.
that in DMs yet to anyone?
Oh yes,
Okay,
multiple
great,
times.
great. I'm very glad to hear it,
A few
Amanda.
last night, by the way, that I thought you'd really appreciate.
really?
One is a dog who's been like scratching himself on a couch. It's like
Oh
a
yes,
little,
in his face, he's like,
it's like a little Pomeranian, but he's like stuck with electricity.
Oh yeah,
So his
yeah,
hair's
yeah.
like everywhere. I
love it.
Hilarious.
All animals.
no. Can your love language be Instagram direct messages?
Certainly, yeah.
Because I definitely communicate through memes and
Is that like words of
videos.
affirmation somehow, strangely, or gifts? Maybe they're gifts because you're giving us a gift
Gifts.
of fun.
gifts.
Yeah,
Gift.
gifts.
A gift
or
gift.
My love language is gifts.
That's true.
The giving and receiving of.
Okay,
That
so you
is
should
very
just go
true.
take the quiz. I may
I
get
will do
this
it.
wrong, but I think it is literally the number 5 lovelanguages.com.
Okay.
Because we
I will
just did
do
a
it.
podcast.
What are
on
the
it, and I think-
Enneagrams, though? What do they all mean?
Oh gosh, let's see if I can do it. One is a perfectionist, which is good because it means they are always kind of watching to see, are we doing this exactly as well as we could? 2s are helpers. 3s are performers, but that's not the exact right. I can't.
Really? Martha is a 3? Our friend is.
I'm not thinking of the right. Oh, achiever. A 3 is an achiever. A 4 is a feeler. That's not the right answer either. Yeah, romantics. 4s are romantics.
romantic.
5 are
I
investigators.
can't believe I'm not a romantic. Hold on, wait. Did you know that Americans spend an average of 90% of their time indoors breathing around 30,000 gallons of air daily?
It's a lot of air.
I didn't know that. 30,000 gallons of air. So according to the EPA, indoor air could be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. And in some cases, it can be 100 times more polluted.
Ew.
Is that crazy?
Ugh.
Well, let me tell you something. Do you know Air Doctor?
I do know Air Doctor.
I know Air Doctor too. I love Air Doctor because it has helped me with this issue. I am so worried about my indoor air. And especially since COVID and all those things, I was
know.
super concerned about indoor air.
Well, and it's allergy season. We've got pets. We've
Yes,
got
all those things.
kids that are bringing all
Pollen,
the
dust
things.
mites, mold. Air Doctor filters out dangerous contaminants and allergens so your lungs don't have to.
Yes. So the pollen, the pet dander, dust, mold, it's all gone with their ultra HEPA filter that's been independently tested to remove 99.99% of tested bacteria and
a lot.
viruses. Yes. And virtually 100% of particles as small as 0.003 microns.
Small.
It's so tiny.
They also feature whisper jet fans, 30% quieter than most air purifiers.
And I can speak to this because our Air Doctor is like in our main living space in
Same,
our house.
yeah.
And you don't even notice it's there.
No.
It's
and
awesome.
It's lovely. I have mine behind a plant and then it just like cleans the air and I just
Oh.
feel like everyone's healthier because of it.
Yes. An Air Doctor comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't love it, you just send it back for a refund, minus your shipping, of course.
So head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code WWB. Depending on the model, you'll receive up to 39% off or up to $300 off.
So lock in this special offer by going to airdoctorpro.com. That's airdoctorpro.com and use the promo code WWB.
Thanks, Air Doctor, for sponsoring our podcast.
So the thing about 4s and 7s is they both had a lot of feelings as kids. They just play out in 2 different ways. One is let me go deeper into my feelings.
Okay.
And one is let me get away from them. And so 7s, we kind of went. So there's a chance where you have a lot of 4. I mean, the longer we're people and the more we try to be like Jesus, the more we're going to integrate and pull the best of every personality type.
So
right?
then if you do this test like every 10 years or something, like when you redo your passport, you redo your Enneagram, like do you think it will change? Is it supposed to change?
Coaches and the real like experts say they don't.
They don't. Okay.
That you'll always because the question behind all the questions, the question behind Enneagram really is, why do you do what you do? Okay. And so our motivations don't really change. Like 7s, for my whole life, I am going to struggle with, I do not want to feel pain. The more mature and healthy I get, the more I know what to do with that question. Oh. And so I don't know that my question changes. I hope my response changes to when things happen. So 6s are, they're all about safety. They're loyalists, but they are like very concerned about things being like, I just saw a meme yesterday. It said a 6 will say, what could go wrong here? And a 7 will say, what could go wrong here? It's the same question, but like
Amanda
two totally different. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then 7s are
we're labeling we're putting our friends.
Oh, I know exactly where they all land.
Yes. 8s are the challengers, and 9s are peacemakers, which is beautiful because the little shape of the Enneagram, the 9s are sitting at the top because they kind of feel whatever.
Well, my husband says he's a 9, but I don't think he's a peacemaker.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if the way he expresses the fears and the way he expresses
he's not
the motivation. No.
He's not confrontational.
But
that might be stubborn? What it is. Oh my God.
Listen, there's a male 9 in my life that I'm like, if you got more stubborn, I mean, everything, he won't say with his mouth what is wrong, but you know.
Yeah.
Because he will not move. He is stubborn.
Oh, that is my husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
They just don't love confrontation.
Like a big gorilla.
Yeah. There's a great coach named Suzanne Stabile. She's really an expert. She wrote a book called, I'll have to think about it for a second.
Brain can tell you.
Yes, The Brain. Suzanne Stabile has 2 Enneagram books. And the first one is The Road Back to You. And that is really a great one to start your exploration, because it's not just a quiz. It is, okay, let me take the quiz and get my bearings of what I could be, but then let me actually read, what does this person do? What do they feel? What do they like? And so The Road Back to You, her first one with Ian Crone, is really helpful.
So can you explain to me though, real quick, like the Christian connection to Enneagram? Like, is it a simultaneous sort of thing? Are Enneagrams a Christian thing?
No. Okay. There's a lot of people, in fact, I don't know about a lot, but there's a crew of people who would say they don't like the Enneagram at all for Christians. There are times where, this is true with anything.
Right.
Yeah. There are times where you go, well, because my Myers-Briggs is INFP, I can't do that. Like, where you lean on these excuses of, well, because I went to the University of Georgia, you're like, that's an excuse for being a sinful person. Just kind of.
Is this like because I played a witch? People don't think I'm a good Christian?
So also put in the category of like, okay, well, because I'm a 7 and I run from pain, I guess that just means I'll never have a hard conversation. Sorry. And so you lean on it in a way that keeps you from reforming.
My 10-year-old who just learned he has ADHD, and he's like, what do you want from me? I can't control myself.
So there's a lot of people, and the origins of the Enneagram are unknown. And so some people have some concern about how it started and why it started. So for me, the balance is, it's a tool.
Yes.
It isn't more important than the Bible.
No.
And it isn't even more important than what me and my counselor talk about, or me and my best friends talk about. If they have an experience of me.
It's fun in a way.
Yeah, and it's helpful.
It's enlightening. And it's, it's like yoga.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, yoga is good for you. It doesn't mean, because I know that my kids went to a Christian preschool where at the fundraiser every year, we weren't allowed to give away yoga classes.
Right.
Because it wasn't.
Right.
It could be,
Yeah.
And I can agree, and I get it.
Yes.
Like, why they wouldn't want yoga there, because in a lot of ways people aren't praying. They're kind of worshiping themselves in a way.
They're connecting spiritually, just maybe not to the same spiritual things we would want them to connect with.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good words. Yeah. But so I wonder if some people put it in that.
Yeah. And so for me, the way I take all this stuff, yoga is another great example of like, if it doesn't serve you in your growth with God, I wish you well.
Yeah.
Don't do yoga.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the Enneagram. Like, the only things we want to tie ourselves to are Jesus and Scripture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And you're not going to agree with all that, but we still tie ourselves to that. But the rest of it is like, if it serves you and helps you grow closer to God and each other, great. If it doesn't, we'll still be friends.
But I know from your book that I can't do anything to make God hate me.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's not going to hate me for doing an Enneagram.
No.
Okay, we have to ask her our questions, but I know you were excited about telling us what you're embarrassed about. I want to hear what you're embarrassed about binging.
I am like, binging could be my favorite pastime. I love all of anything. It's also part of our personality type. Is like, I want all or...
Oh, yeah, I'm very much that way. Yeah.
Yes. If I want to understand... I love that we have the same,
we're like twin personalities.
I'm like, if I want to understand a sport, I want to understand the whole sport.
Yeah.
And if I want to study something in history, I want to know everything about it. If I'm going to eat something, I want to taste... Like, my dream is going to a restaurant and being like, one of everything, please. And we just try it.
Ooh, I want a little bit of everything. I don't want one thing.
The optimist that you'd mentioned.
Yes.
when we go to Optimist,
their bread is insane.
In a pool of butter and salt.
Oh, with the hard salt, the coarse,
if
like
you
kosher
ever
salt
can't
on
find
top.
me,
the crunchy.
look for the bread from
But
the
have you had their
Optimist.
hush puppies?
No. Are they great?
Oh, save them for dessert.
Okay.
Their desserts are good, but have the hush puppies for dessert.
Hush puppies for dessert.
Yeah, I can't go to the Optimist too often anymore. I got a bellyache from eating it so much.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a treat. Yeah. Listen to how we talk. We eat places until we are sick. This is what we do. This is the life of a binger.
Girl can eat over here. Don't worry. I'm not
believe
judging.
you. I mean, we're all made from the same.
Oh, yeah.
So here's what I love. I am like real hot right now on PBS.
Oh, really?
And on watching shows that you can stream on PBS. I could currently cancel just about all the rest of the
Like what?
things.
Wait, what are we
Well,
are we talking about
currently-
Sesame Street? What are we talking about?
No, not currently.
When I hear
mean,
PBS, that's what I think of.
Sanditon. Have y'all watched Sanditon yet?
No.
No.
Okay.
Wait.
Sanditon
Writing
is a
it down.
Jane Austen
That's
book
what I
that
was
she
gonna say.
didn't
That's
finish.
a Jane Austen book.
Yes,
Yeah.
she never
I-
finished it. So they have finished the show.
Love Jane Austen.
No.
It's 3 series. It's a beach town in England.
Yep.
It's
Oh, I'm
awesome.
so excited. I
Were you
have
a
to
Downton
go.
girl?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's Downton at the beach.
I didn't. Do
Oh,
Downton.
praise the
And
Lord,
It's
I
like
am
so my
there.
thing.
Oh yeah, so go back and do Downton.
I've just
Downton's
never
on
binged
PBS
any. Like
too.
I did this show so that I could have to binge stuff because my whole life I've like been in television
Yes,
and never got
and you
to
haven't
watch
had time,
television.
yeah.
You never watched?
Okay, so the other one,
No.
that I'm like really into is called All Creatures Great and Small,
Oh,
and it
that's
is.
a song.
It is. It's like it's like a hymn. I thought the same thing. It's a true story of the veterinarian. Animals, the veterinarian.
I already wrote it down.
Right, yeah, and it's set in the 30s. It's set in the late 30s in England.
What?
I was born in the wrong era.
And I
Yeah.
know, and it's these vets who go out and take care of farm animals, but it's in England.
Are you
great.
hearing this, brain?
It's three.
We have new
It's 3
shows.
seasons so far. There's a 4th one coming. So
All
that
right.
is right now. I just had surgery a couple of days ago, and so I've been laid up for the last week. I just laid around all week, and when my mom was in town, I was like, I haven't really watched a lot of. I don't have PBS, and so I logged into hers, and I was like, I'm never going back.
Oh my
I am
gosh,
keeping this
that's
forever.
amazing.
So that's
You have to
but
leave
I was
all
like,
the others. Why do you need
I'm
them?
kind of embarrassed to tell you how much I'm loving PBS
No.
right now.
I love that for you.
If anything,
and
that's
for
like
me.
someone saying, "Oh, I don't go to Barnes and Noble. I go to the library," and I'm
Right.
like, "Oh, I should do that."
Right. And then it just kind of, you also know with
But I
PBS
like to
what
keep
you're getting.
my books and smell them.
Right. That's right.
I know, but as a person who's like, I'm very much into anti-waste these days. So I'm like, I don't need to buy it. I can give it back and someone else can read
I
it.
love that for you, and I do, and I love a library. I love to go in a library. I love to take books from the library, but I also love when I find one that's good. I like to buy all the editions of it, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
like to give them to people.
You did that with Addie LaRue.
Oh, which
I don't know that book.
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's
Is
a
it
good
great?
One.
it is so.
It's
great.
my turn to pick for book club next month. Is that the one?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's a
Oh,
grown up.
it's so good.
Tuck, Everlasting Tuck.
Tuck Everlasting.
Tuck Everlasting. I should know that
Okay.
my son's name is Tucker.
So
Thank you for even bringing a memory of Tuck Everlasting back to me. That is so
good.
sweet.
So it's a long read. Fair warning. There's a lot of time travel back and forth.
Yeah, it takes a little getting into, but it's worth it.
But it is so good and so beautifully developed,
Yeah.
and
It's a slow burn.
So one of the characters is basically representing like the devil, and so as a Christian, even the story is not a Christian story.
It feels a little
But it-
C.S. Lewis screw tape letter.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, in a way.
And so you can kind of relate as like, oh, this enemy, like I relate to that enemy. Like it's cool. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Say the title again. The Invisible.
The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Great. Done.
You'll love it.
Picking
You
it.
wont miss it. Yeah,
Sorted.
you'll see it.
Thank
It'll
you.
be
You
right
saved the
there.
day because there's no
If you
pressure.
need a copy, I've got like 12.
She literally does.
That book
Literally
club
does.
pressure, though, the like, oh no, book club's tomorrow and I've got to show up with the option.
I've got my
Yeah.
book club book in my bag right
Yeah.
now. So
I love it.
Amanda, did you know that 80% of your immune system is located in your gut and digestive tract?
I only know that now because our new sponsor, First Form, makes such a big deal about that with their product, OptiGreens 50.
Yeah, OptiGreens 50 is a precisely formulated green superfood powder, and it's great for your healthy digestion, which is so important for overall health and wellness.
Literally everything in your body. And
Yeah.
this product is not only really effective, but it tastes so good. Can we
Yeah.
talk about that wild berry flavor? I'm here for it.
It's not gritty, and it's from natural flavors.
Yeah,
and they're
there's-
so confident in the flavor that if you don't like it, they'll offer 110%
It's
money back
crazy.
guarantee.
Yeah, all you got to do is tell them it's not for me and send it back. No problems there. But y'all, you're not going to want to send it back. It's
No,
delicious.
It's delicious. OptiGreens 50 has 50 hand-chosen ingredients and it's effectively dosed. It's not necessarily how many ingredients. The more important point is that they're the right amount of each ingredient. And 100% of the greens ingredients are all grown and manufactured here in the USA.
Which we love.
We love that. They also have protein meat sticks. I took some of this with me to Africa on my trip.
It's amazing.
And
for
it was
that.
great just to have those meat sticks. Are super awesome protein. They keep you full. They're delicious. They were just great to have for me and the boys.
And the protein bars are equally as delicious.
Oh, yeah,
My kids even love them.
Protein bars are delish. Great flavors, amazing, yummy. Loved it. So all you have to do is go to firstform.com/MJH. It's 1stphorm.com/MJH.
And if you order now, you get free shipping through this link on any orders over $75.
Yeah, so check it out. And thanks, First Form, for sponsoring What Women Binge.
I love that they make me. What are y'all reading right now?
We've got 4
We
right
are supposed
now.
to be reading 4.
4?
Well, because we do it on the podcast and we have 4 people. We have our tiny book club and there's 4 of us.
Which you have mini book club? Is that right?
Oh, mini BFF book club with kids where I read
I
a
didn't
picture
realize-
book on the internet sometime on Instagram.
And
Yeah.
we have
so
Tiny
cute.
Book
It's
Club,
cute.
but ours
that's
is just
so
Tiny
fun.
Book Club just
Yes.
because that's the name
But y'all
of the
try to read
text.
4 books at a time.
Well,
because
we
everyone
each pick
picks one.
And there's like 4. We
They
actually
read
have
these-
more than 4 members.
These girls, I want to call them another name, but I won't. These twin snakes over here. Because
Oh my gosh,
sorry,
these
we were
twin
eating the
snakes.
twin snake
Yes,
gummies.
that's perfect.
But they will read a book a day. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I'm
you
like-
reading them? And you're reading paper. You're not Kindling.
I much prefer
little
paper.
bit of
I will read them on my
everything.
phone, like if I'm traveling and I don't have it with me.
I'll do one audiobook while I'm also reading one, so I can kind of like
I can't-
double up
so-
in the car and
I like audio, but most of the time if I'm in the car, I'm not alone. So I can't
Yeah.
read all the things I want to read.
and you can't like double headphones while you're driving.
No.
But I also
So-
get confused sometimes between the audiobook if they're not different enough. Like I was listening, I think, to Rita Moreno's autobiography in the car, but we were reading Evelyn Hugo,
Yes.
which is very similar to her
Yes.
life. So it was kind of getting a little.
We
which
just did Evelyn Hugo. Did y'all like it?
so good.
Yeah, we
I
liked
think that's
it
one of my
too. It was
favorites.
a really interesting
they're
conversation.
going to make that movie.
If they
It might be
don't
Rita
cast
Moreno.
Rita, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah, Rita's
She's
gotta be.
everything I've read about like all the casting rumors is she's at the top of the list,
Yeah.
and my fingers are crossed
She's
because it
gotta be.
has to be her.
Yeah.
Can I ask an industry question?
Yeah.
Even though we're on strike, can we have conversations? Like, can they be talking about making movies? Are y'all allowed to be talking about making movies?
Actors cannot be, and their agents cannot be negotiating on their behalf.
Got it.
There's no negotiating. There's no talking about deals. There's no so-and-so's attached to this project.
So everything's
producers.
halted.
Well, producers like animation is still go ahead. Game shows, daytime television, that kind of thing is still go ahead. But as far as like SAG actors and writers, you can't be like, hey, do you want to help me write this script to a WGA writer? And you can't be like, oh, we're gonna do you want to star in this movie with me? Like there's a movie that I'm working on with another actor, and he had written it, but that was already in the works, so we could kind of announce that we're
I saw
talking
you
about
post
it.
it.
Yeah,
And go, whenever
like we're
we
kind
get
of
to do
like,
it, we
yeah,
get to do
someday
it.
we'll get to make this movie, but it's because his podcast just came out where we had recorded that months ago,
Right.
And it just came out where it was kind of announced in there, so it became a little
Got
bit
it.
of a
So we'll have to wait on Evelyn Hugo.
Yeah.
Because they can't be
They
having
can't be
conversations
shooting it. Nope,
about
they can't be
what's
asking
happening.
I'm
actors.
hoping that they've already got that solidified, and as soon as this is over, it's a go.
Yeah.
Because
They
we're all
might.
waiting on it.
Yeah.
they might, but they
great
may have.
book.
I mean, like negotiations might have been halted. You never know.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fall without new television coming on network
Right.
channels and stuff. So
Right.
it's gonna be, and like I had someone the other day come up to me and go, "Will there be Christmas movies? What am I gonna do without Christmas?"
Well, we know that some were shot beforehand.
Yeah. You're
a
like,
lot were
yeah.
shot beforehand, and
So-
because this was not a surprise strike.
Yeah.
Everyone knew this was coming.
Yeah.
I just heard that maybe SAG had when SAG was negotiating with the AMPTP, they pushed it by 12 days, and I thought that was just because they were really close on points and that they were going to eventually get to
Right.
those, that we were going to negotiate, we were going to figure it out because they were so close. They just needed 12 more days to figure it out. Then I just heard a rumor that it might have been because they just had to get some productions finished,
Oh,
and
so
then
they were letting some people
shut it
finish.
down. Yep. They were finishing their movies and then they
Womp
shut it down.
womp.
I know. I'm like, oh.
But I'm also seeing, I saw today that I saw a Hollywood guy saying, I'm doing a concert. I've always wanted to sing. I'm like, oh, y'all are going to start doing a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was going to post. I've been in the gym every day since the strike started. I'm like,
Are you a fitness influencer
You're
now?
a-
No, well,
influencer.
Look at you.
I wasn't gonna go there, but I was gonna go. I'm more of a queso influencer, but I was thinking about going.
This is a good place to be in
like
life.
posting something like, hey, AMPTP, you're kind of missing out on actors being like the hottest they've ever been because they're kind of working out.
They got a lot of time.
They got a lot of time.
All the Hallmark women and all the Lifetime women are going to be so jacked
we
by
have
the
time
end
for
of
our hair and our Botox and all the surgeries we were holding off on. Like, we're all going to be hot coming out of this.
That's right. That's right.
All right, we got to ask you our season 8 questions. Oh, wait, this is season 4. I don't think you want to do season 4.
You're on the wrong page. I think they're on your phone.
Fully on the wrong page. They are on my phone, but I tried to put them in. Oh, thank you. I don't usually go with colors and stuff, but because of Amanda, I'm inspired to be more colorful. Okay. Is there a standalone book that you wish had a sequel?
Oh gosh, is there a standalone book that I wish had a sequel? Yeah, my favorite book of all time is Christy by Catherine Marshall. Do y'all remember that?
No.
Kelly Martin.
Oh, that Christy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is my all-time favorite book. In the 90s, Kelly Martin did a TV show.
Kelly's one of my best friends.
Yes, that's what I was like. I feel like you would know the show from Kelly. I mean, that book, I used to teach elementary school. I don't know if you know that. But before I did this as my job, I was teaching school. And I mean, I always wanted to be Christy. And so a second book, I would have loved to have seen what happened.
Show. I was like, it was like Little House on the Prairie, but a current version. Not current, but
more recent. Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually one I could have maybe been in.
Yes.
What was your first video game or console?
We weren't ever allowed to have them.
Really?
So I've never owned one. My youngest sister owned a Game Boy.
Okay.
But we never had them.
We're unpacking childhood trauma here.
And we were all girls too. So there wasn't a brother.
That's like me.
So when I went to college, my guy best friend at college one time brought his Nintendo. He came home with me and brought his Nintendo. My little sisters were like, what is this magic? I mean, we just had never had them.
Did you ever get into it though, even though you
No, I think I would really like it.
Yeah.
I think here's
my
like
maturity. I'm a little like that,
where I'm like, I think I'd go
in
if I got into a video game, so I should probably
I felt about cocaine. I'm like, I'm not going to try that.
Same,
I might like it. Let's not do that.
Video games, cocaine,
Let's
things
not
I'm not going to try.
That's the thing we can just push aside.
You agree with us on that?
Yes.
Amanda, what are you writing down?
Yeah, Amanda's like, I am going to try cocaine. Y'all, I'm not going to video game. But the cocaine sounds interesting.
No, so I love video games. And I think you would love video games. So I grew up, my brother had the Nintendo 64.
Yes.
Which, sorry, Will, I'm about to throw you under the bus here. I one time made Will cry because I beat him so many times at GoldenEye.
How long ago?
We were adults.
Like 5 years ago?
No, like 15 years ago. Yeah, so I'm really good at that, and I really enjoy it. And then
there was a lot going on for Will right then. It wasn't just the game. It was like life.
I adore you, Will. I'm sorry.
And then there was just it was
a good moment.
Over the edge. Was that kind of what happened? Yeah.
He didn't understand that there were hiding spots in this video game. And so he got very angry.
So do you and Logan play a lot?
Not so much anymore. Before we had kids, we definitely did. But now as an adult, the other thing that I loved video game-wise was this computer game called The Sims.
Yes, I've heard of The Sims.
Okay.
I never played it, but
I don't know you personally well enough to say for sure, but I have this inkling.
We've been friends for a while.
That you would really enjoy The Sims.
Yeah, because you build like worlds.
I always play God.
Don't you
It is the greatest.
Yeah, don't you?
I've known you long enough to know you wish you controlled everyone.
But don't you decorate? Right. You can decorate the house and all that stuff.
I mean, down
that
to
always appealed to me, but I never did it.
You fully designed these people.
And are there other people like if I had Sims and you had Sims, do they know each other?
Now they can. When growing up, they couldn't.
My sisters were really into it, but I never had time.
I can't do it as an adult now. Like I have had to remove it from my life because it can become so all-consuming.
That's my fear, man. That is my fear.
I got into that.
Video games and cocaine.
I mean, there was a few things. Video games and cocaine.
Things that can just get all-consuming.
But now, as a parent, it's so fun because my son loves the Nintendo Switch, and there's Zelda on there.
Oh,
and you love it.
Oh. It is
and you
so
kick his
good.
butt? Do you kick his butt? Do you make him cry?
No.
Too?
We play it together. And there'll be times I hate to admit this, but he'll go to bed and I'll be like,
oh no. Does he know that you've played it when you?
Yeah, because I beat the boss characters and he is like,
and he wakes up and goes, what'd you do?
We're so much further than we were. I'm like, oh.
How did that happen?
That's crazy.
Wow, Amanda. You're a gamer.
I mean,
I'm into it.
Not like a
Love
full
what
gamer.
you love. Yeah.
Oh, I can't. And
That's
he
funny. I
plays
did
this
not know this
Fortnite
about
game
you,
that I
Amanda.
cannot get into.
This is new. Yeah, Tucker's into Fortnite. They tried to make me play it once. The problem with the controllers these days, they're so sensitive and they can do so much. You're like upside down and you don't know what. I'm
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Do your
So
boys have them at your house too? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really that into it. Tucker's just starting. My youngest is just starting to get into it. Brady's into it, but he can control it. Like he can turn it off when he He's pretty good about playing on the weekends with any. What he does is he uses it to connect with his friends up where we moved from.
Yeah.
So this is his way of like playing with his friends.
Staying
still.
with them, yeah.
But then he's really good about like he's just a really good kid. Like where he's really good about one-on-one time. Like talk about his love language of like quality time.
Yeah.
He's really good about like I need 1 or 2 friends and that's it. I don't need a whole, and I'm like, more the merrier, everybody come.
Yeah.
But then I don't
are.
spend time with people. I've realized this in my old age that I really want to spend more time with people, which is I think where the quality time thing comes from for me. But so Brady's into it, Tucker's getting into it.
Yeah.
But they all kind of dabble in it, let's say.
Okay.
Anna, you would like Animal Crossing too.
Uh-oh.
It's really fun.
Okay.
I did
But
one
I'm
called
telling
The
you,
Zoo.
the way I am about Instagram and scrolling, if I did that with video games, I would have no job.
Yeah.
I would like.
It has to be a small doses thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
You'd be like a
I'd have
ski
to
bum.
keep it at your house and just come over and play and then leave again.
If you want, we could do that.
Yes, that might be the solution.
I would definitely do that.
So if you went to jail, let's segue into that.
Right.
What would your crime be? It would be like loving Jesus too much.
I wish. I bet it would be for reckless driving of some kind.
Really?
Yeah, just like not paying enough
Are
attention.
you the one knocking over all the trash cans?
No,
and hitting the
yes,
mailbox?
I did in high school. No, I'm just like, I think I get so bored doing things that take a long time that I'm like, I don't want to drive all the way to Franklin. Can I just ride? I'm just like, I'm the person.
She's a passenger princess.
Yes.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I want to drive.
You want to drive.
I don't know if that's a control thing.
I don't like driving. And so I'm like,
I love driving.
That's my fear is always, it's not going to be a DUI. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be, I wasn't paying enough attention and I hit someone's garbage truck.
Garbage
can. Yes. And so they're like,
Drifted
you're going
off
to
the
jail
road.
because you're an idiot. Yeah, that's about it.
Mine's more like I was blasting loud music and it pumped me up and I was hitting the gas a little too hard.
Yeah, and you were
Took
going
the turn a little too hot.
110. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
What was your favorite toy to play with as a kid?
Barbies.
I love
Yeah.
Barbie.
Yeah. I thought they were so fun.
She was my favorite.
Have you seen the new movie?
Yes. I liked it. Did y'all like it?
I loved it.
I have mixed feelings. I
Yeah.
need to see it again. I'm not giving up on it.
Yeah.
I just have some thoughts.
I can't wait till we can fully talk about
I know
it.
I'm really not
Right.
allowed to talk
Oh,
about
that's
it, but
right.
I need to see it again. That's all
I think
I'm saying.
it is a great conversation starter for our
Yes.
culture.
Yeah. Oh, it was very enjoyable. I think visually it was beautiful, and it was a lot of fun. It was really funnier than I
Yeah.
thought it would be. But I wanted the story to be a little more clear.
And the soundtrack is so
The soundtrack
good.
is fun, and Ryan Gosling's just fun.
I can't wait till you're released to.
I know.
I know
to
to be able to talk about it.
That would be a fun
I know.
episode.
I don't want to hate on it, but it's like I'm missing elements.
Yeah, that's
all.
right. I think
all.
that's
I'm just
fair.
missing elements.
You were
don't think
sleepy though. You
I
gotta
was
see it
sleepy.
again.
I did fall asleep.
I don't think. Yeah, you're like the missing elements were when you were asleep.
When I was asleep.
Like the half hour you snored through.
Yeah, no, it was like maybe 10 minutes. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't think I missed that much. And if I did fall asleep, then it must not have.
I would love to have this conversation when you can, only because I think there are some places that there is a fuller story. I wanted them to finish some things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted a simple existential answer.
Yeah, right.
And that didn't come about. It
Right.
wasn't a clear, easy. But here's the thing: I did fall asleep during the premiere of the movie Old School, and I never understood why it was so funny. And then my husband made me watch it again, and I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious!" Now it's like one of my favorite movies.
Which is why
So
you need
sometimes
to
when
give
you're
this one
sleepy,
another
yeah,
Yes.
But I don't think I fell asleep because I was sleepy. I think it lost me.
That's fair.
Disagree.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it again and see.
Yeah.
I'll come back and report after.
Do you
I've
have
seen
a
it few
favorite
times.
Barbie? And do you still have your Barbies?
I have none of my Barbies.
Oh, sad.
And I didn't really. I think I was real life Simsing with them. Like I just made them.
100%.
I didn't have favorite ones. They had a real life.
They had personality
lot
adopted-
going on in the neighborhood.
Mine always adopted the Shirley. Oh, excuse me, my phone's like lighting up. My Barbies would always adopt the strawberry shortcakes, and they would go pick up. We would always have our rabbits would always have many bunnies.
Yeah.
and there would just be bunnies hopping all over the dream house, and
Wow.
so we got very
That's
involved.
a magical experience.
That is
very
right,
involved.
especially for
Once a
strawberry
kitten was
shortcake.
murdered in my dream house.
What?
Yeah.
For real life?
Yeah,
Oh,
it happened.
we had very few murders in my neighborhood.
Oh my gosh!
No, it really. I had my dream house. It was in our garage at some point.
Oh.
And so I went down to play in it one day, and my cat had kittens, and they were also down in the garage. And another cat had come in and I discovered the scene, and it was
Oh gosh.
In your dream house?
Isn't that sad?
Yeah,
close
that's
it
terrible.
off?
Yeah,
My
you have
mom
to-
cleaned it up.
Oh,
which
lordy,
Moms.
lordy.
Y'all are
yeah,
tough.
they are saints, aren't
Yeah,
they?
y'all are saints.
I feel like that
different, different, built different.
Yeah, I probably would have gotten rid of that one. And
Yeah.
gotten another one.
Oh, and I still actually
Same.
have that dream house. My
Do you?
girls play with it now.
Mine came funny
You
enough.
know the
the
80s
cat.
version?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never told them about the cat.
My dream house came from the set of Saturday Night Live.
Really?
I was allowed to take it home from the set when I did an episode.
That's
I did a
awesome.
Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Did you
Santa
keep
the
it?
Terminator. It was an episode called. It was the skit was called Santa the Terminator. I think it was Jim Belushi playing Santa, and he comes down the chimney. But it's like when Terminator came out. This is the 80s. It's like 86. And he like blows up the chimney and he comes out and he starts shooting up all the toys and there's just squibs everywhere. And I was hiding behind a sofa. I'm a little blonde girl in a pajamas.
This is so
hiding behind
not
a sofa
healthy
waiting
for children,
Santa.
by the way.
But I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, it was like we did this one live. I had done a few other episodes that weren't live. So this is the one time I got to stay up till midnight to shoot this episode.
Right.
So I'm hiding behind the sofa and we do this whole thing. We rehearsed it over and over again because of how much special effects there was. And so he shoots his way through the punches through the chimney and comes out and like blows up the toys. But there was a dream house. And so when the skit was over, my mom was like, and I think they all saw me eyeing it, and I think I went over to play with it, and they're like, you can take it. So my dream house came from Saturday Night Live.
Do you still have it, or did you give it to a niece?
No, you know what happened was when my mom divorced my dad, he gave away 150 of my Barbies. I got a Barbie. Barbie was my payment. That's how I got paid for every job I had when I was little. So if I did, a spot on a soap opera or a commercial,
I'm traumatized for you here.
I would get to go to the store and I go to Toys R Us and I'd buy my
Right.
Barbie, and that was my payment, right? And so I had 150 Barbies, and my dad threw them all away. And still to this day, he will fight me. He's like, they were missing heads. None of them had shoes. The rings weren't like
Barbies
that's.
don't need
You
shoes.
can put shoes on a doll.
But do you remember how? And they didn't do this in the movie. How there was
The little plastic ring.
the ring,
Yeah.
and it would always fall out. And
Yeah,
you'd have
just
a hole
in
in
a
the
hole.
hand.
Yes,
I wish we had a
yes.
hole in her hand.
You're right. I'd forgotten about that.
So I guess every Barbie was married.
Yeah,
technically.
that's
Maybe
right.
that's why they took it out.
No, was it on her left hand?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Oh, I always assumed so.
I think
I
it
always
was
thought it was
actually
an
on her right
engagement
hand.
ring. Is it?
We
Maybe
need
Brain
to-
can tell us.
Yeah, brain.
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 So
All right,
that's
we'll
a
move
deep
on.
dive, Brain.
We'll come back to this. What is your unpopular opinion? Like, I hate dolphins.
Do you?
People think that
Okay.
that's weird.
It is so
My
sad.
unpopular opinion. Okay, let me think for just a second. My unpopular opinion. I don't totally understand pets.
Oh, okay.
I think animals are. Oh boy. Well, not pleased.
well, Amanda.
Not pleased. I think animals are cute.
Amanda's got a million
I
pets.
brought up
I
the
do.
giraffe. I
Yeah,
think animals
yeah.
are cute.
You're pro animal, just not
I'm
pro
pro
pet.
animal. I just have questions about pets.
I actually agree. I can agree.
Yeah.
I love my dogs, but I can agree.
Yeah. So
Because
probably
I am not madly in love with them, but I think it's because I had a lot of trauma as a kid. I lost a lot of animals.
Yeah.
I had a lot of
Were
non-Barbie
you not allowed to
incidents,
have
but-
pets?
Yeah, we just didn't. We had like one dog and one cat through my 18 years, and neither of them ever stayed long because we didn't take care of them. We just weren't pet people
Yeah.
ever, and so I just am. I have curiosity around how strongly people feel about their
That's
animals
interesting.
that live in their house.
Yeah,
So that's probably.
I get that.
I don't talk about that on like dating apps. That doesn't get you very far.
No,
Yeah, that's
I'm
funny.
gonna say
That's funny.
I'm maybe you need to borrow a dog.
How many pets do you have?
Oh gosh,
She's got pet shrimp.
I do.
I gave her pet shrimp for Christmas.
She did.
Oh, that's nice.
So I have a dog, 3 cats,
Like 5
2
geckos.
No, 1 gecko, 2 frogs, and 50 to 60 shrimp.
Okay.
That many now? I
There's
only
a
gave
lot
her
of
like
shrimp.
4 shrimp, I thought.
No,
Did I
there
give
were
you
a lot of shrimp.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
like sea monkeys.
Yeah,
Is that how you
kind of.
give
So,
shrimp?
well,
yeah,
sort
they're
of.
brine shrimp. They're little tiny pink shrimp.
They live in their own ecosystem.
It's really
globe.
cute. I actually love it. You don't have to do anything.
You don't do
Right.
anything. After
They
they
just
feed them the
exist.
first
They
2
just
weeks, they
exist.
feed themselves. Yeah.
That's cute.
It's really cool. No, I'm very pro pet, but I grew up in a very animal-y family.
Yeah.
Like my dad is Dr. Doolittle, and that all animals will find him.
See, we just had a lot of kids. We lived on a pond, so we had ducks and raccoons, which I hate raccoons because they would always kill my ducks. They'd kill my bunnies. They'd kill my What? Why do I hate raccoons?
Pandas with their hands.
Oh no.
They
Don't
got
talk
the
to me about
hands.
this. Is like
their
the otters.
hands.
So she's obsessed with otters. So for her birthday, we sent her to go swim with otters, which
Oh
I
my
thought
gosh,
was the
it was
most
the greatest day
I wouldn't
ever.
go.
No.
I would
She
not
would not go. It was awesome.
No, because you also probably have to get in like a pond. It's not like you're swimming.
Not getting in the water with these things that have these teeth and these claws.
No, they were precious, and they got little hands. It's the hands.
Except the only picture I saw of her with them, they're like growling. They're like,
it's smiling.
It's not smiling.
It's smiling.
I don't think otters smile for the camera.
They were very happy.
I think it was trying to eat your face.
No, it loved me. And it would make little noises. It would go, ew, ew.
Wait, so speaking of pets, what's your pet peeve?
What is my pet peeve? When people are late.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I don't know if we can be friends.
Yeah. No, we can survive it.
I am a punctual person.
Yeah.
I try.
That matters.
Oh, it took me a while. Well, when I first met my
punctual.
husband, he explained to me, he goes, I don't know why you think that your time is worth any more than anyone else's. And I was like, thinking about it, I'm like, am I so selfish that I'm always late? Like, why am I selfish? And one of my friends who was always late too, she came to me years later and she was like, I realized what it is. She goes, we are perpetual optimists. We always think if I have 5 extra minutes, I can throw in that load of laundry, pay that bill, make that phone call, and then, start the casserole.
I've come to terms
and then all of a
with
sudden
that I cannot do this. No. So now I am a mostly on-time person.
I am trying to get better about it. I really am.
You're
I
like
used to be
10
a 20
to 15 minute.
I'm never more than 10. Yeah, I feel like.
No.
I mean, it depends. Where are we going? What are we talking about?
You're 10 to 15, sometimes half an hour.
What?
Oh, yeah.
When am I half an hour?
What?
Sometimes you're half an hour.
If I don't have to be
half an hour?
Mostly for dinners.
Dinners.
You really
like at someone's house?
No,
when I'm like
to restaurants. Like if there's a reservation, I will always be the first.
But I'm not
there.
30 minutes. I'm rarely more than 15. I mean, I don't even think I'm 15. I think I'm 10. 7 usually. Let's go 7.
Well, that's good to know because as our friendships keep going, I'll be like,
just
she'll
know
be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I always swore that every kid adds 10 minutes to my life, like 10 minutes to my being like. Because as soon as you think, like, I always prepare things for how I think I'm going to get out the door.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the dog pooped on the carpet, and this
right.
one's like, but mom, you didn't sign the permission slip, and then that one's like, but what about my, today's recorder day? Where's my recorder? And you're just like, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, if you've scheduled it just perfectly, then you're late.
15 minutes.
So yeah.
So just know she's great at making reservations, but you will be there first.
You'll be there first.
So
Okay.
you need to know what
Right.
she put the name under.
Yeah, that's true. I usually tell you right away when I tell you I made the reservation. That's true. What is a place that's on your bucket list?
I have not been. Where have I not been that one? I would love to go to Banff, Canada.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's what I've heard. I've never
Lake
been
Louise?
there.
Lake Louise is near Banff.
Yeah.
It's like it's maybe, I think it's like, if I can remember,
Canada's
30
kind of
minutes.
that for me. Like I haven't done Prince Edward Island, and I'd love to do Prince Edward Island.
Good oysters.
Like kind of just all that. That part of Canada. I don't need to go where it's very cold at the top.
Yeah. Sun Peaks is a fun place too, by
Okay,
the way.
see?
Like you
Yeah.
could do like a BC, you could go like Vancouver to like oh my gosh, what's the mountain up there? And then you can go through like Kamloops and over to like in Alberta, go up to Calgary and up
All
Banff.
this.
I don't know any of these.
Me either.
good
I've been to
stuff.
Toronto and that's it. So I'm like,
See,
I just
I
need
really
to see
have. I
more of
spent
it.
one day in Toronto, and I just spent a lot of time in Ottawa. That's cool, but
Right.
It's fun for like a day or two to do some historical stuff. But Quebec is beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to do PEI.
I know, me too. Yeah. I just think it sounds like,
and I just want to go to Nunavut because it sounds so
cold.
No, I just want to go to because I want to say I went to Nunavut. Like I just think it's the funniest name. Nunavut is a territory. Yeah.
See, we got to go there.
There's the provinces and the territories.
I'm down.
Yeah. The Yukon and the Nunavut. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it's hilarious. That's the way it's spelled.
Yeah.
And you went, no, how is it, Jay? Nunavut.
Oh, there you
come
go.
on, it's N-U-N.
Yeah, Canadian here.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Nunavut. I want to go to Nunavut.
He knew. Okay. Me too.
He's sitting over there going,
Yeah, he's like, y'all, come on.
disappointing.
You're butchering it.
What's your go-to toenail color?
Stop it, I'm blushing. It's OPI. It's a pink that has a peach undertone, as we discussed, but you said we had to stop.
Oh, the color thing.
Getting your colors done, like our mothers did in the 90s.
Have you done
What does
this?
that mean?
Yes,
getting your
where
colors
someone-
done for your color wheel.
Yes.
Like she mentions in the Blind Side movie.
Yes. Like I am a soft autumn.
Oh.
And so everything I wear is supposed to look like it went through the washing machine a few times. And it actually looks way better on me. And
Interesting.
so the girl who did it is created colorful and it was so fun. So Stop It, I'm Blushing is my pink because it has some peach undertone to it.
Now, will you ever sway from that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like I'm not ever supposed to wear blacks or whites.
Oh, really?
I'm supposed to wear creams and navies,
but I
only
wear black
and white. Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay. And so absolutely, I can do whatever I want. But I do see people say more things to me. Your hair looks so good. Your skin, and it is all about whatever color I'm wearing. It is the wildest, because I tested it, because I bought some the way you feel about making garbage, I kind of feel about buying really cheap clothes. Like fast fashion, I just feel bad about it. I think there's better ways to do clothing.
For sure.
And but what I said to myself is, okay, you can buy a couple of fast fashion pieces in these colors that you don't have.
Just to try
see what happens.
Yeah.
And my gosh, there's this blue sweatshirt that people are like, Annie. And I'm like, I just have never worn this blue. And it's all because the little wheel told me to wear it.
That's like my husband told me I should only wear gem colors or jewel tones. And I was like, I wonder if is jewel tone in the color wheel?
Yeah, there's an option. Yeah, y'all should do it. It's really fun.
I know for me, it's blue undertones. Anything with a blue undertone.
Yeah, because you're doing it with this.
Works for me.
Yeah, you're doing it with this. Yeah.
Look at me. I'm
doing it. I'm doing it. On accident. But yeah, Stop It, I'm Blushing is my
All right.
go-to.
I like it. Do you have a favorite piece of jewelry?
So I have this ring that my grandmother gave me. I'm not wearing it because it fell off about 2 months ago, and I lost it for 6 days. Y'all, this is unbelievable. Okay, so what happened is when my grandmother passed away, they took her tennis bracelet and they cut it into links and gave each grandchild a link on a ring.
How
so we
special.
all 6 have the same ring. Well, it just was gone. I wore it every day, and it was just gone one Friday. And the next Thursday, I mean, I looked everywhere. The next Thursday, I get a note on my door in my condo, and someone says, and because I put on Instagram that I lost my grandmother's ring, and one of my neighbors says, you should check our Facebook group. I think someone found your ring.
What?
And this woman was walking by the dumpster at my house and saw something sparkling in the mud. And she picked it up and cleaned it off and put on Facebook that she had found it. And then I described, she said,
that's a miracle.
6 days later, absolute miracle.
In the mud.
In the mud by a dumpster that I had walked by 4 times a day and had just never seen. I thought I'd lost it at my friend's house where I'd eaten dinner. So I had gone through their garbage. We had gone to Burger Up, the burger place down the street. We'd gone to Burger Up and asked them. And I had checked the sidewalk, and it was in my own house. So I had to get it resized.
Yeah.
But other than that,
had you lost weight? Did something happen?
I don't know. I just had fallen
You
off.
said some grease on your hand that day or something?
I'd been,
or you
doing
got a little aggressive with throwing the trash away?
And so I just
get one of those. Now they'll do those dots on the inside.
Oh yeah, to hold it
It'll
on.
just hold it.
BBs.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I need to do the opposite with my wedding band. I need to I'm going to have to stretch this sucker out.
Yeah.
or lose some weight. You want to do this or that?
Sure.
This or that.
Let me open it.
We need a this or that song. It's this or that time. This or that.
I mean, that's what you're going to have to remember.
You can go with this, or you can go with that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but that's copyrighted.
I mean, not that song.
Right.
But like that song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm ready,
Pineapple
Amanda.
or pepperoni on pizza?
Pepperoni.
Floss or toothpick?
Floss. Ew.
You're not about dental hygiene?
Well, I'm just the idea of those are the options.
I'm a water pick girl.
I recently became an obsession. It's my fault because I became obsessed with, my son is obsessed with toothpicks. And while we were in Africa this summer, I started using toothpicks a lot. And I was like, this is kind of fun.
This is actually the best.
I kind of like it.
Band or orchestra?
Orchestra.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles, crispy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cardio or weights?
Weights.
Come to BFT with me.
Shaken or
I haven't
stirred?
been yet, but I've heard.
Oh, you're going to come with me.
I would love to.
Shaken or stirred?
Shaken.
Reality or true crime?
Reality.
Threads or
particularly, by the way, Below Deck.
I love it.
I know you can't talk about it. Below Deck.
Okay.
No, I think
Captain
it's a game
Sandy
show. I think I can.
And Hannah. Long live Hannah. I'm so sad. The new seasons. No.
Oh, okay. Because I was
she's
I
no
don't know
longer on the
Below Deck.
show.
I only know that the Damons were on it twice. My friends.
You would Below Deck
train
is
wreck.
Johnny and Michelle.
it is touchingly good. It is just
so
so good.
good.
It's so trashy.
Well, my 17-year-old is obsessed with Love Island. I imagine it's sort of in the same vein.
It's like upstairs downstairs where everyone who works on the yacht is the drama you follow, but then you watch them have clients.
And the clients, some are great and some are just
train wrecks.
Yeah. So reality. Sorry, I just had to talk about it. If we're going to binge, Below Deck, Down Under is currently one of mine.
Threads or X?
Neither. I got off of X last summer.
I gave it up
former
years ago.
Twitter. Yeah. And I haven't missed it ever.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the devil.
I can't look at it.
I
have it still, but I can't look at it.
Yeah,
and I post things to it, but only what I've posted on my Instagram. I shove it out there, but I
Same.
can't look
That's what we do too. I think that place has become so toxic. Toxic is the right word. Yeah, and just like everyone has equal amount of permission to say things, and they actually don't in my life.
Yes, exactly.
And therefore, I need to not be in places where people who have their just a regular avatar, it's not even a picture, and it's like Banana 1874.
The keyboard
Banana
warriors.
1874 does not get to speak into my life.
Nope.
No.
And so I'm out on both.
Yeah.
I
like
fully
that.
accept that and agree with you. Prada or Gucci? Or whatever you prefer.
I don't do a lot of that level shopping. I'm like take me to restaurants and experiences.
Yeah.
So I'd rather take my purse from like Able here in town or from Target and then eat somewhere really cool and have a really cool experience. So between Prada and Gucci, I'm going to pick the Optimist.
Fair enough.
I want to go to
Or the new Sinatra.
Audrey or the new the
new Sinatra cafe or restaurant.
So that's what I like to spend my money on is I want to have these experiences that have y'all watched The Bear yet?
Yes.
So that kind of Michelin star restaurants, those where you go like, I'm sure the food is extraordinary.
Have you been to French Laundry?
No, I've done Audrey here, but I haven't done French
My sister
Laundry
does
yet.
French. Her husband takes her to the French Laundry every year on their anniversary.
Really?
Lucky girl.
You're going to New York. You have to do Le Bernardin then.
I haven't yet. I've heard. Yes. Okay. I should
know
probably
that one.
That's a life-changing
reservation now.
Yes.
Okay.
What's
Do
the
it
one?
now.
Is there one called something? Oh, is it called like this? I used to love this restaurant in New York, and now I can't remember. But they change it. I want to say it's called like the Seasons or something. But every season they change the restaurant over, and
Even in
you
decor
feel
and
like,
everything.
Yeah. So inside it'll be like covered in blooms in the spring, and then there's the spring menu, and then it'll be I don't even know what summer decor is, but of course winter decor, and then fall decor. Like they have. I've been there for 2 of the seasons, I think, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it's
that
called.
kind of stuff.
It's worth it.
Yeah. I should probably get into some sort of cool belt, but
No, but
I
like
just-
experiences.
experiences.
I'm all about classics. And when it comes to fashions and things like that.
I was just drunk in Vegas once and bought the Gucci belt because I was feeling pressured by Candace Cameron Bure, and I was like,
Candace would never tell you that you needed to buy one.
She wears that beautiful
of
belt.
Candace,
Oh no, I love her. She wore that beautiful belt every day for like a year on her Instagram, and I was like, you know what? If I only ever wear one belt,
Yes.
it should be that.
Have you been to her winery yet?
No.
Or is theirs open? Is she like? Can you like
think
go
so.
drink at? Can you go try their wine?
I assume
I think
so.
you can
Let's
buy
go.
it.
Let's
That's what I
do
want to see her. I
that.
want to see what she and
And then we'll go to French Laundry.
yeah, that's it.
I love
That's
this.
the solution. We planned a lot of
And
trips
you got to come
on
to
this pod.
BFT. We're going to work out.
I know. I've heard it is.
I'm
I
having
saw you
such fun
post
with
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Because Alicia Witt was with you, right?
It's yes.
I love
Yeah,
her.
we were with her last night. We had
She's
dinner with
so
her last
lovely.
night.
We celebrated her birthday last night.
She is really lovely.
She is.
She's really
She is,
talented.
and I dragged
What a
all the
smart
Hallmark
woman.
sweethearts, as I call them,
Yes,
to
yes.
to BFT because what do actors do when they can't work? They work out.
Yes, that's
So
right.
that was my
That's
joke.
the picture
And
I saw. I was like, I want to go to that workout.
Yeah.
So
I was
yes,
like, everybody
drag
come
me
along.
along. I would love it.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm a little addicted. I mean, my husband owns it, so
Yeah.
I'm a little biased.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. I was like, I'm gonna go 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week, and then I challenged myself to go 5 times a week,
Yeah.
and I'm like, without it, I feel lost.
What part of town?
It's in Brentwood.
Okay, great.
I went last Friday and was still sore until yesterday.
That's because you didn't do it again the next day. The workouts
and
are
to
built
keep-
so that you can work stuff out.
I
and
wouldn't have been able to do it the next
recovery.
day.
Like I was not walking.
I
No,
had
the
full
next day
intentions
was
of
so
going on
easy.
Monday, and that didn't work out. But
Monday was tough. I will tell you that.
Okay, you made a good choice.
I made a good choice.
Yeah.
I'll go tomorrow.
But it's like every other day. Like we'll have a tough day, and then you'll have a day. I brought someone who was like an avid she's
Yeah.
like a diehard workout queen.
Yeah.
She wants like tough workouts.
Yeah.
And I brought her on like a balanced day where it's like more stretchy.
That was a
Yeah.
great workout. No,
That
it's
was a
actually
great
really,
workout,
and
yeah.
but that's the one I was sore from.
Oh, that's the one you were sore from
I
with
shouldn't
balance?
have been that sore because you feel like you're not doing all that much.
Yeah,
with that
you have your
workout.
arms against the wall and you lift them slightly up and down.
Oh my gosh.
And after like 5 times of that,
So
you're
bad.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god, my arms
Yes.
are. Oh, that
Yes.
might be why my traps were killing.
It was the
me.
front
my
of my
lats,
side.
your wings, my
I don't know
wings,
what they
my
were really
angel
called.
wings,
It
as my
was-
grandma used to call them.
I was like, oh, clearly I don't work this very often.
There's a muscle there. Yeah.
By the way, Barbie mostly had right hand rings. Occasionally would have both.
Oh,
What?
thank you, brain.
Right hand rings. I guess that makes sense. We
Wow.
didn't want to assume she was engaged.
Right.
That's nice. That makes me feel better, actually.
Right.
about what I was thinking about her.
Yeah.
You know, and the people that created her.
You're coming around to her.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Y'all, this is so fun.
Oh, wait, we have
Thank you.
to. Do you have your phone on you? Because we have to see how many emails you have. We have to judge you.
Oh, no. And I actually don't have email on my phone.
Why?
It's like one of my
Explain that
things.
to me real quick.
Because I needed more separation between my personal life and my work life. And so my signature in my email says, I don't have email on my phone, but I'll get back to you when I'm back at my computer. Because Dr. Phil says,
listen to these
you
boundaries.
teach people how to treat you. And so I've taught people that they can get me in text and they can get me on Instagram on my phone, but they cannot get me on email on my phone.
Wow.
So, but I'm not great at
love that.
emptying it out either. But I don't have. I have
But
like
you don't have it on you all day
18.
long. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Interesting. Good job.
This is
I like it.
It's very helpful. It's really, really helpful.
All right. Well, everyone go and get all her books because they're fabulous and
They
full
are.
of wonderful information. And thank you for being here, and we hope you'll come back.
What a pleasure. Thank you guys. This is really
Thank
fun. I
you.
really
Oh,
want
and
to
check
come
out
back.
her podcast.
Yes.
We need
Oh,
to
yeah,
hear plug your own
That
podcast.
sounds fun. Yes.
That sounds
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
And then we have another one called Let's Read the Gospels, where literally every month I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And we switch up the orders and we switch up the version.
I've never done Mark.
But yeah, so come on, jump in with us. We do, and in fact, in September, we're doing chronological order. So it's mixing all 4 books together, how the stories happened. And
very
so, and then so it's like 20 minutes for
What's it
30
called?
days.
What's it called?
Let's Read the Gospels.
Let's read the Gospels.
And
all
we're
right.
gonna
Those
get
are our two.
a secret from you.
Yeah, we're going to get
our
a secret from you for our
secrets jar.
secrets jar.
Okay.
But thank you for being here, and we're all going to check out all your things.
Yes.
Books,
Thanks,
podcasts,
Thanks for having me.
sermons, all of
So
it.
glad to do it. Thank you.